What's up everyone, I'm back at y'all with another video. Now for this one, I am reviewing Back to the Future 2. Now, I just got done watching this film for the first time. Like last night, I also got done watching the first one for the first time last night. And I reviewed it, so if you want to check that out, please check that out. Back to the Future 2, I just got done watching this one for the first time. Now, I enjoyed the first one a lot. I was never bored during it. I don't think there's any slow scenes in it. I wasn't bored throughout the movie. I was entertained from start to finish in the first one. Now we're going to talk about, of course, Back to the Future Part 2. Now, Back to the Future Part 2 is a good movie. And throughout the film, they started messing up the future a little bit, and they had to go back and try to fix it. There's one scene where they go into 2015, and then it's like they think there's going to be flying cars back in 2015, which there wasn't, because we would have flying cars right now, of course. But, they try to predict it, but it was still a very cool movie. I love those scenes. There's a scene where there's flying skateboards in the film where the main character's sitting there hopping on that flying skateboard. That was a fun scene. There are a lot of great moments in this film. The first hour was freaking spectacular, and then the rest of it was decent after the hour. So it's not as good as the first one in my opinion, but it's still a well-made film. I do enjoy it from start to finish, basically. But it ain't as good as the first half or first hour. But the last few minutes were still great. The last few minutes were still good. So yeah, I can understand why people love the Back to the Future films. I can understand why. I love these movies. I'm like a fan of these films now. And after I finish this review, I'm also going to watch Back to the Future Part 3 and stuff. And at the end of this film, which is I do like the very end of it too, leaves it open for Part 3. Pretty much he said, let it be continued, or to be continued. And I was like, wow, well, I gotta watch Part 3 next. So yeah, Back to the Future 2. If I had to rate this film, I would have to give it a solid 9.5 out of 10. I'll give this film a 9.5 out of 10. It's very enjoyable. It's not as good as the first one though. It's a good sequel though. It's a very good sequel to the first one, but not as good as the first one. So yeah, who knows? I might like Part 3 best. I don't even know if people like Part 3 as much as Part 2. I don't know. Because a lot of times the people hate on Part 3s when it comes to movies. They always hate a Part 3. But from what I was watching, from Part 1 and 2, it could be a perfect trilogy. It really could. It could be a perfect trilogy. Because I love Part 1 and 2. I love Part 1 and 2 a lot. So I cannot wait to check out Back to the Future Part 3. They're very entertaining movies. I'm a huge fan of this franchise now. I heard they're coming out with like a remake, a reboot or whatever. And Tom Holland's going to play in it. I think it could work. I'm going to do a video about that, on why a Back to the Future remake could work, because there's a lot of future things they can do with it. There's a lot of things they can do with it. But yeah, Back to the Future Part 2, it's a 9.5 out of 10 for me. Very enjoyable film. To the people that haven't watched Back to the Future, I highly recommend it. Which a lot of y'all probably have watched these movies. Because they're classics. I'm surprised this is the first time of me watching these movies. I bought this collection pack that comes with all three films, the Back to the Future trilogy, and it also comes with the 2 bonus discs. And I love this collection a lot. It came with this Universal thing too. It cost me $22 and something for this. I think it's a good deal because they're very good movies. So yeah, it's very worth the buy. And it's very worth it spending those monies on those movies. So yeah, I wouldn't mind Back to the Future, remake. It might just me because I'm new to this franchise of Back to the Future, but I wouldn't mind it. Because this just don't mess it up. Don't be a cash grab because you never know about these days. They might be like, well, people love the Back to the Future movies. We need money, so let's make it happen. That's what they'll probably do. But yeah, I love this film a lot. That's why I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. I like this film a lot. It ain't as good as the first one. It's very close to being as good as the first one. The first one, I gave it a 10 out of 10. This one, I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. So, it was close to being a 10 out of 10 movie because I enjoyed this film a lot. I enjoyed this film from start to finish, basically, So, yeah, 9.5 out of 10 for Back to the Future Part 2. So, yeah, I guess that's it for this video. If y'all enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, please subscribe and share. And also hit the bell so you know when a new video is uploaded. Peace out. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. And I'm out. Peace.